Dark Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. Florida Gators quarterback DJ Lagway is reportedly walking around in a boot again, but is still expected to play versus Texas on October 4th. The MLB team owners unanimously approved the sale of Tampa Bay Rays to the Jacksonville businessman and Dreamfinders home CEO Patrick Zalupski. It's 88 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air & Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Taylor Dahl is back.
I am back. Hello.
Welcome back. Hello.
What's up?
And Aaron Beasley is with us as he is every Tuesday. Bees, how's it going for you?
I'm happy we won, you know?
Yeah.
A Jags
Makes
victory
everything better.
Makes even when it's raining outside yesterday, doesn't matter.
No
Jags
big deal.
won.
That's right. Even today, I just was like, man, I feel good.
Yeah.
You know, I just in a happier mood when they win.
We're defensive guys, so we like that kind of game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was a physical game, man. They're both sides, man. They were popping. That was fun to watch. Last night's game was fun to watch.
It was.
How about Detroit?
Yeah.
Talk about going into someone's home and beating them up. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Hope we can do that out in San Fran.
I mean, San Fran's beat up, so
Very.
you certainly hope so. And look, the fumbles, now that's going to be a big talking point for Derrick Henry.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I hate that for him. But it's kind of like how it was here last week, what's going on with Brian Thomas Jr. And now this week, the dropsies have once again affected this team. There are certain things that are kryptonite. And yeah, to go to San Francisco, you're going to have to play physical, but I think you're also going to have to play probably turnover-free football.
Yeah. That's the one way you can equalize being on the road, right? Their physicality. If you come out, hit them, you got a chance, no doubt about that. Yeah. How about how about Derrick Henry? So mad he throws his helmet and then slips.
You fall. That's just like even
Falls
worse in that
awkward.
moment.
Yeah,
for
right,
you. You're already
right.
mad you
Adding
fumbled, you're
insult to
crashing
injury.
out, and then you like fall over and you're crashing out.
Can't win. Just can't win tonight.
I had a
But,
feeling
big
when
win
I
for
saw,
Detroit.
I saw everyone on ESPN pick the Ravens, and the three of us had picked the Ravens, and I was like, this is not going to go well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you should have stuck with you because at first
Yeah,
you were
First I was, I know.
Right.
Yeah. You
yelling
guys
at
talk
me.
the
I was like, I'm
opposite.
confused of what the argument is here.
Yeah.
I had forgotten about that live from Big Dog.
That's
That was
right.
a lot of fun. All right, let's
I
get
feel old because I fell asleep.
That's all, the late Monday nights are hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
this
yeah,
upcoming
for
Monday night.
sure.
We have two again, a doubleheader, but at least it's 7:15 and 8:15 for the kickoffs.
Okay.
yeah,
It's
not 10 again.
Yeah, 7
Yeah.
and 10. That's just way too late.
Yeah.
Totally.
Let's get it to a review of the Jaguars beating the Texans. So many great moments, but Tom made a good point right before the show started. He wanted to ask you about that one busted coverage. So let's start there.
Yep.
What did you see that happened when the Texans scored that touchdown?
Just miscommunication.
Yep.
And, I mean, that's the main thing. You guys got to be on the same page back there.
Yeah.
Somebody, I mean, that's what happens in a big play, you know, because everybody does their job. There usually isn't a big play.
Right.
So it had to be just some kind of miscommunication.
Or it's a contested play, right?
Somebody
It was
played
wide
cover
open.
2 when they're
Yeah.
supposed to play cover 3. Or, you know, that happens.
I noticed on the replay that Murray jumped, the tight end blocked first and then went to the flat, and he flashed down. I was trying to figure out what coverage that may or may
That
not
could be
have been.
quarters because in a quarters coverage, the safety is actually in the box from way back deep.
Yep.
And if he reads it bad like he did and he comes down to the box, you just leave your
Okay.
your
So the
corner
corner's
out there.
got to go with him in that
and it's
regard.
tough because it was a tighter split.
Yep.
And on that kind of split, I have to play outside leverage because there's so much field on the outside. And it's hard to play a post from outside.
No
and over
doubt.
top, so.
Yeah. That pull, people don't realize, like, you can be right on their hip, and then when they make that break, there's just a natural separation.
Yes.
It's like you can't even, unless you cut before them, maybe, or you have tremendous makeup speed. But normally that break, and if the ball's on time, forget it. It's hard to cover
Only
that
Coach
one.
Prime could have made that play.
Yeah,
back then.
right. No, you're right. You're right.
Prime could make those plays like that because of that speed, like you said.
Well, they just look like Tyson. Just watching it, he looked like he didn't know what was going on. Like he didn't know he was supposed to have him or who he. Just like you said, miscommunication. But look, that was the only one. Like Coach Duffler was just saying on primetime, that was the only big play that they had against us. So that was pretty good. You know?
I think it's so big because our offense hasn't performed like we expect them to right now as well. So the defense is keeping us in the games because we went through that in the 98, 99 where our offense wasn't always there and our defense finally stepped up, 'cause we we weren't known as a defensive squad back in our
Yeah,
early
right,
days.
right.
So,
That's complimentary football right there, right?
And Taylor, it's a big deal because what did we see happen every game, it seemed like last year? Some sort of busted coverage,
Yeah,
if not
big
once,
time.
multiple
Yep.
times per game.
That was costing
So-
games. And I think that we're going to talk a lot about the turnovers right now, because that's one of the things that have just been drastically different from last year to this year, the Jaguars being able to get those. And I think that there's a lot of reasons, but I do feel like Jordan Lewis has just added something to this defense that makes it feel like it's just that next notch that you were kind of waiting to see.
well, if you make that a focus of the off season, then it usually happens.
Yep.
I always bring up all these old stories, but my last year in Atlanta, we didn't even do tackling drills. All we did was a turnover circuit, and it becomes contagious because, speaking with Coach Duffner, he knows that too, and he used to say, I avoided your butt back in college because that's the one thing I always talked about when I was here, CMT, create more turnovers every day. I get mad if I can get an interception in practice.
Lewis is a total pro, and I'll tell you. I mean, we know why, but I'll give you an example. So the play where Nico Collins motioned across, and then they gave him like a little screen or something, and he jumped it like you could tell he'd been studying, and he recognized that right away. He's like, oh, there it is, and then he just jumped. He went right around that tackle and made a tackle for loss.
Yeah.
That's the guy that's been studying the tendencies. He's been
And he
studying
also
this
tackled the receiver in the end zone when the ball was tipped by Josh Hines Allen.
Yeah.
He knew right away,
That's
I can
right.
tackle him because the ball's tipped. So it can't be defensive pass interference. And I think it's not just Jordan Lewis. Obviously, he's a huge part of this. It's also Coach Camp's defense, like the way that they're able to use their vision when they're out on the field.
And that's one thing. You don't see a lot of man-to-man.
No, right.
So
Not a
much zone, but when you have a front four like we are right now, I mean, they're getting to the quarterback without blitzing, so it helps everybody.
You know what else we have? We have a rookie defensive back that can play press and man, Travis Hunter.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't think he was going to be that physical. He can really play that up close, on the line of scrimmage type of cornerback play, which is fantastic. I would use that a lot. I mean,
So you want him to be a DV.
Yeah, well, but wait a minute.
He's and I have been there.
No, wait a minute. Though. That play.
That move.
I mean, come on, put him one-on-one in the slot. No one's covering him in the open field. When it's 3rd and 2, or let's even better, 4th and 2, and you need a first down, I know what I'm doing. I'm getting him lined up on somebody and be like, hey, man, go inside, go outside, and I'll hit you. You'll be open, and you'll get the first down.
By the
That
way,
choice route, yeah.
A little bit of surprising breaking news. The Texans just released veteran safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Oh.
That's really surprising after watching him here just this past Sunday and
Man, he
how
was balling,
physical
too.
he is,
Yeah.
and we know how chirpy he is. I was actually
That's why I was
going
like,
to
I
ask
wonder
you
if it's
about
something more in that
think
world,
it's
like locker room.
chirpiness.
Might been a fight in the locker
Yeah,
room.
'cause he's
0 and
not a
3,
nice guy.
He's a fiery
you know?
dude. And I mean, I saw that dude in high school. I bring this story, another story, right? But
We
I
love
saw him
stories.
in high school, and we did a 7-on-7 down at IMG. And he got beat, and he got into a fight, but they wouldn't let him fight. They made him do a one-on-one. They stopped the whole game. He was like a sophomore in high school.
Wow.
And I always followed him after that because
Yeah.
he cried and he has so much passion. That's what it was right there. And I could see on the
Something
sideline
happened.
a couple plays.
Yep.
Number 0, the guy with
Aziz
all
Al-Shire.
Yeah, Shire, yeah.
he
You
was
noticed
back there
the
talking to
inflection in my
fans.
voice. Yeah.
CJ run back to him like, get your butt in the huddle. Like, he's serious about football.
Yeah.
And that's what that is. I think there's
That is
something in the locker room.
surprising, though.
Yeah, I don't see any injury reports as to this point in time or anything that could have happened in the locker room. But
Something happened. It had to have happened. You know, it's like almost kind of like what's happening around here, although they don't say it. Like Savage,
Sure.
like maybe Savage is like, hey, man, I got to play more. They're like, okay, somebody else.
Yeah.
Go to Washington. And congrats to him for being picked up. That's good
yeah,
too.
we wonder if that happened with Tank Bigsby too.
Yeah,
I
right.
wanted to be in the mix for a starting running back. If I'm not going to get that, they go ahead and trade him to the Eagles.
Keeping that locker room friendly
yeah,
is
and
Yeah, yeah.
positive.
Yeah.
You can't have
Yeah,
any
you have to have everyone
negativity.
rowing in the same direction.
Yep.
Bees, when it comes to the wide receiver drops, is there something that the cornerbacks and safeties are doing on the defensive side as far as their catching the ball drills? Because that seems to be working wonders, including that spectacular interception Antonio Johnson made, but we've seen multiple. Even Devin Lloyd, Andrew Wingard, the list goes on of interceptions and great plays that the DBs are making, the defensive players are making, yet the offensive players are not catching the ball. What is happening?
you work at that, like that's the only thing I could see. Like the whole offseason, that was the focus. When you only have 9 total turnovers
In 17
that-
games.
that is horrible. I try to get 9 by myself this season, and that's
No, right.
seriously. And I'm just saying, every time I go out there and watch it, it's like they have been working on getting the ball back. That's taking possessions away from the other team. It's keeping your offense on the field, keeping your defense off the field. Listen, I mean, time of possession, we won that again, I think, right?
Yeah, that's the mindset. I mean, look, we saw in camp, I mean, they were punching the ball out early, Taylor. Right? We were like, wow. And you see Campanelli running all over the place, screaming at everybody, like, get the ball, get the ball, get the ball. And it is contagious because now you want to get that ball on the ground. And I tell you another thing that we didn't see last couple of years, they're all running to the football.
Oh, yeah.
And when you run to the ball, as we know, good things happen.
Yeah, not giving up on that, Tommy. Early on, I remember one of the plays we were raving about early on in camp, the Jarian one, where it was like almost magical that he got it. I think it was it against BTJ? I can't remember. But he got the kind of just miracle, got the ball out of his hands early on.
Right at the sideline.
Yes, right down the sideline.
Yep.
And those just kind of continued on, and now you're seeing those again because I do think you have defenses who are the physical defense, and you can say all you want, go after the ball, but this team doesn't stop. They're constantly trying to get the ball out. Even, we've seen the good catches, but we've also seen the ones that they've battled and got the ball too, which that's what you want. And on the reverse, Bees, is there something defensively that teams, let's say you're facing a teams coming in here are saying this team has a problem catching the ball. Is there something that they're doing to get in this receiver's heads even more, do you think? Or is it just, because it's not just this year. It's been 4 years now. Trevor leads the league and wide receiver drops. It's something weird.
That's a tough one.
What's the common denominator, just out of curiosity, out of the 4 years?
But I asked the question on Twitter, and people got mad at me.
I'm not saying it's his fault, but I mean, if we didn't know anything, I'd be like, well, who's the common denominator? You'd be like, well, the quarterback. You'd be like, oh, okay, well, it's kind of odd. Like all these receivers are having trouble. Why are all these receivers having trouble catching the ball? Look, Mahomes throws a lot. They drop a lot in Kansas City too, so it's not like he's the only one, but. I don't know.
Cowboys are a mystery.
It's always something in the middle. Ball placement's very important. And then listen, if it hits you in the hands, you got to catch the rock. I mean, that I'm not talking the one, this and that, but if it's like
there.
Right
Which
there,
there's been too many of those.
There's been way too many of those. You got to catch those.
Liam Cohen,
scary deflections too.
Yeah,
like he throws the ball so hard that if they drop it, it's going up in the air.
Yeah.
And that does happen at times. Liam Cohen met with media yesterday. He did talk about the drop, so we'll let everyone hear from him on that. On the other side, you are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Offense, defense, special teams.
Offense, defense, and special teams all contribute.
We got ourselves a roster.
After the game, pump up the Superior Plumbing Special Teams Player of the Game.
They got to match eye attention.
On 1010XL.
Join Jim Furyk and other legends of the PGA Tour for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K. October 3rd through 5th at Timuquana Country Club. Catch the new community concert series on the 17th hole after play, featuring country artists Low Cash and Love and Theft. Public parking is free with complimentary tournament access for military, courtesy of ViStar Credit Union. Get tickets now for the Constellation Furyk and Friends, presented by Circle K, starting at just $25 at Ticketmaster.
Helmets and Heels, provided by Green Law Group.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now with the big BOGO event. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Cooking with Prisco.
These things are wonderful. You're going to love it. Have a rollie.
Catch CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco every Friday afternoon on The Franchi Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's Terminix.com. That's right, Terminix it.
Jacksonville was built on specialists.
We be special.
Now the Special Teams Player of the Week, sealed by Superior Plumbing and Pipeline.
Logan Cook fried the opposition while in the Sunshine State. The former 7th-round pick recorded 6 punts in the team's win versus the Texans, with his longest going for 60 yards. The chef served up a fine display of punting and will look to continue to do so all year. And he's your Superior Plumbing and Pipelining Special Teams Player of the Game.
Blue here for the Blue
Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Julington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Hacker here. And this past week during the fifth quarter, I had a listener come up to me and say that my story about Awaken 180 weight loss, my journey with Awaken 180 weight loss, had inspired them. And they made the call to Awaken 180 weight loss. They were beginning the program that they hoped would change their life, much as it has changed mine. Awaken 180 weight loss has changed my life for the positive. And I love that I can tell people about Awaken 180 if you need to lose weight like I certainly needed to. And if my story inspires you to make the call, it'll be the best call you will ever make. It's the best weight loss program I've ever been on. The coaching you get, the guidance you get is absolutely spectacular. Take it from somebody that lost over 100 pounds on Awaken 180 weight loss. If it's time for you to regain control of your life, go to awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. Guys, if I can do it, you can do it. Awaken 180 weight loss.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville. I always brag on what you guguys have on-road and off-road. But, Greg, tell everybody about what's happening on the water, because you got loads of opportunity.
We do. We've got lots of boats in stock. We got the Honda 19-foot Fisher Runabout. We've got the Coach pontoons, all of them with that legendary Honda motor and legendary Honda reliability, which you always want when you're out on the water.
You could be cruising along the Intercoastal or out on the ocean, but check it out. Facebook page ready for all of you to see, Cycles of Jacksonville, or their showroom on Atlantic near Regency.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dell, Tom McManus, Aaron Beasley hanging out with us. RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Thanks to Rob, a.k.a. Chillin' Robert Kemp on X. He sent us the report from Aaron Wilson, who said the Texans released C.J. Gardner-Johnson after friction behind the scenes with him complaining about his role, wanting to blitz more, and even communicating that he wanted to be traded. It just didn't work out for him with the Texans. Again, it surprises me based off of just the on-the-field play. Doesn't surprise me about some of maybe the attitude
the other stuff.
But I think he'll get picked up by another team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think
a winning team, I should say.
Yeah, and that's why I was joking, because I immediately saw a post that was like a bad couple weeks for him because he was just getting cussed out by Baker Mayfield last week.
Yeah, right.
And now he gets cut. And it's interesting, too, because they had just reworked his contract a little to move a lot of the money to an early signing bonus. So it definitely seemed like they wanted him to play a big part on that offense. I mean, in that defense, and it's just not panning out. But the personalities can.
They still have a good defense. I mean, if you think about
their
the three total point totals, it's still pretty good. I think 17. Right, we scored 17. They were averaging 17. So maybe he's like, yeah, but 0-3, we're not going nowhere. Let's get out of here. You know
that's what I thought it was going to be.
And the agent's like, well, go complain about something, and then okay, no problem. Next thing you know,
he's like, got that.
You're out the door.
Yeah, and that was an impressive performance too, considering Derek Stingley had to leave the game with the core injury. Oblique, whatever it ended up being. All right, here is Liam Cohen trying to coach these Jaguars wide receivers through the drops.
The real thing that we're trying to communicate is just not letting the ball cross our eyes, regardless of where it is. Anytime you let the ball, obviously, into your body, there's chance that it could not get caught. And when we let it cross our eyes is typically where you see a lot of drops happen, not just here, but around the league. So it's something that you don't anticipate, especially like Parker's been catching the heck out of it, right? He's going up, making great plays. He had a phenomenal week of practice. I've lost zero confidence in Parker Washington. It's not the way it is. It's just, who knows? The moment, whatever it is, the time, I don't know. So something that ultimately we have to continue to work on. And if we don't show the effort of improving it in practice, then it's not going to just happen on Sundays.
Yeah, interesting. At first, I was like, what is he talking about? 'Cause I'm like, a bomb goes across your eyes, and then I'm like, oh, your eyes cross. And how do you catch the ball like that? So what he's saying, I think, is get your hands out and bring it into your body. Don't let it come to your body, right? When you're trying to catch the football, making sure your hands are out, Because if it cross-eyed you, it's coming too close to your face. Like, I can't catch
It's like that guy from Waterboy.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought of. That's exactly what I thought of.
Exactly. Interesting. That makes sense. I mean,
But wasn't he also a couple weeks ago saying, like, hit him in the chest to Trevor, too? But I guess, like, aiming here, so.
Well, you can still,
do that, but with the arms ranked, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
So is that timing, too? Is that timing between Trevor and the receivers?
I feel like I haven't seen a game that was as bad as the one we had on Sunday ever in Trevor's career. Like, I don't think I've ever seen one particular game with that many different players dropping the ball.
There was, it was a lot. It felt.
The crowd feels the same way as that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, with Parker, especially with Washington, because you didn't think, when BJ had his couple, you're like, oh, here we go again. But then you're like, Parker, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, you got the dropsies too. Listen,
obviously killed him against the Bengals. Those
right. Listen, again, it's that thing comes in hot, and you got to grab it. I mean, you just got to grab it. And then, by the way, if we have, they give us in the alumni, we get the balls, like, and I have them at home, like in my garage, and anybody that grabs, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how big this thing is, because it's massive and it's slick.
It's much bigger than college football.
Bigger. Well, you don't realize it till you see it or hold it.
Right.
But that's the job. You got to go grab it. You can't let it come into your body. Don't let it come into your body. Go get that thing and snare it. Snatch it out of the air.
Is this why Tom Brady deflated the football? Was he also throwing lasers and it was easier for the players to catch the football?
It's a little squishier.
With a little bit of the air out of it?
Maybe.
Do we need deflate gate here in Jacksonville?
But then Rodgers ballooned
Said he put it over.
Like Rodgers would go over, and I guess he could just handle it.
I just
throw it like
keep
that.
wondering if Trevor Lawrence throws such a perfect deep ball, is that because he does put air under the deep ball and he needs to put a little bit more touch on
it? It wasn't perfect this week. I mean, he's missed
some bad ones too on
deep.
Sunday.
We got to hit those. I mean, we're close, but we got to hit him. He missed a few or a couple on Sunday.
Yeah,
he's got to hit.
I feel like, Taylor, if they catch the ball and if Trevor places the ball a little bit more, all the NFL right now is talking about when it comes to the Jaguars is Liam Cohen has completely transformed this offense. They're able to run the football and look at the passing game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My tangent will be on this later, too. The offense I haven't been super impressed with, honestly.
Sure.
I think there's a lot of improvements that you have to be made, and I'll go through a lot of those. But, yeah, I feel like any team can say that. The guys catch 3 more and your quarterback completes 3 more, and a lot of games look different. We have too many close games in the NFL right now, and those 3 to 5 mistakes change games. And so I do think any team could say that. I do feel like there has to be kind of frustration on each side, and not saying that they're showing it or getting mad at each other. I know last week that was a lot of the conversation between BT and Trevor, but to me, it does feel like, because there are drops, we're seeing these 4 or 5 drops a game, which shouldn't happen, ones that are hitting your hands, that can't happen. But at the same time, there are a couple bad throws for Trevor that you're just like, you can't keep letting those happen in year 5 too, especially in crucial moments. And those, what I think starts to build frustration for people too, because I do think that a lot of people feel like Trevor should be a little bit of ahead of where he is. But I think sometimes when you go back and you look at the mistakes overall, it's a lot of things kind of adding up throughout a game. It's the penalties adding up. It's not sticking with the run when you need to. It's drops. It's overthrows. It's a pick when you don't. Then that's the last thing you possibly need to have in that moment. Those things I hope all start to settle, because I mentioned last week that I wasn't sure the Jags could win this game if they made the mistakes that they had the week before. And they did. They made a lot of mistakes and still were able to beat the Texans at home
make a lot of
more.
mistakes too.
Yeah. They're teams that offensively have a lot of issues right now that it looks like the Jags are closer to fixing those issues than the Texans are. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Thanks in part certainly to the offensive line. It does feel like the illegal shift at least was reduced between the Bengals game and the Texans game.
But at home, you shouldn't have any of those
absolutely,
at home.
You shouldn't have that.
Yeah, that was a good play to Brian Thomas for about 18 yards, too, on that Diami illegal shift. I mean, that was a great throw and catch, great route, great timing. And then you get it pulled back. That's got to be so darn aggravating. But, yeah, I mean, look, I agree with you on the offense. Some's been really good. Like that last drive, man, come on, body blow, whack, knock them out and go for it. That was phenomenal. And even more so because they didn't do that throughout the course of the game, except maybe one drive. That first drive was pretty, or the second drive was pretty good by the offense. Yeah, that they scored on.
Yeah,
so
we knew what we were in store for when the first 2 drives by each offense were 3 and out. It was like, and
here we go.
It's going to be a low-scoring football game.
We started with our backs on the 2-yard line. It's really hard to do anything.
That is true.
Out of
Yeah,
there. You know what I mean?
nailed it in there.
Jake Browning did it, but
Was it like
valid.
He had 10 yards. You can't do. Come on, man.
Yeah, I didn't blame Liam Cohen for the play calling on that starting drive.
No, you're just feeling it out anyway.
You have
being
to.
conservative.
Yeah.
But I do think, the passing game, I'll say, is certainly below average for the Jaguars. But the run game, when they are calling runs and when they are running the football, there have been very few instances that remind me of last year as far as the getting stuffed for no gain or going backwards.
Yeah, not a whole lot of up the center's butt. You know what I mean? Like we've seen in the past.
Right.
A little bit, but not a lot. And again, I do think ETN missed a couple cutbacks too, and it would have been better in that first half. It is what it is. They redeemed themselves in the second half. They ran definitely much better as an offense. Both him and Tootin and LeQuint had, I think, one carry or two carries that did all right. So, look, they made their adjustments. Taylor, I got to credit you. You've been saying at least with ETN about getting them outside, off tackle in that lane, and it does work. And then it opens up on the inside too. And you got to be impressed with Tootin. He's another guy that and again, here's a great. It's not a big deal, but it would have helped. Trevor's got Tootin on an option route. He gets him outside. It's third down, and all he's got to do is hit him, and maybe Tootin turns it up, and he's at his feet, and he just totally misses him, and you're like, okay, we got to get him the ball because that kid with the ball in his hands, Tootin, forget about it. You don't want to tackle him in the open field.
Yeah, and Liam talked about it yesterday. They had a couple of screens that would have been big plays, and they just didn't get them executed.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes, every offense, I'm sure, to your point, Taylor, can say you're just this close. But I do wonder, we don't know yet about De'Ami Brown and the status for him moving forward. He's posted a couple different things on Instagram, nothing about his injury status, just like he just seems happy to be here. So at least there's that. But do you think we'll see Travis Hunter play more offensively if De'Ami's out this week against the 49ers?
Definitely. He'll have to. I look at it different because, like, we're 2-1. Our offense hasn't played the best.
Right.
It can only get better.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. I'm like,
I agree with that.
The defense is holding it down, and the defense just stays consistent the rest of the year.
But the defense almost can't play any better outside of week 2
yes, they
against
can.
the Bengals. All right, that's good to hear.
They can, and then once our offense gets clicking, I think it's going to be. Like looking down the line, I think we're going to be a tough out right now.
Yeah, we're 2-1. Yeah, we're feeling good. I mean, we're talking about these things, but we're like, and we should be 3-0. So it's all positive. But just think about if we get that even better, if we hit those plays even more, we are going to be a force to reckon with. It's going to be a tough out.
The Jaguars, to me, should have had a 14-0 lead against the Bengals. I thought that was a fumble by Joe Burrow. The refs obviously didn't agree with that, but I thought that was about the chance for the Jaguars to take that momentum, obviously get the Cincinnati crowd completely out of it because obviously that was a hostile environment. But either way, you're going to have hostile environments week in and week out in this league. The reason I was not sure that the defense can play that much better, Bees, is because of all these takeaways. Having 3 in 3 games, it doesn't feel like that part of it is necessarily sustainable, even if they're working towards that each
But they're
week.
getting stops as well, though.
Yeah.
It's not just turnovers. They're getting off the field.
Yeah. But the offense isn't rewarding them enough. You know what I mean? They need to reward that defense a little bit more for complimentary football. Yeah. Because there are too many 3-on-outs on the offensive side. We get a stop, we get momentum, and then we don't do anything. You're like, okay, here we go again. And then we give you the ball back again, and then maybe you do something. You know what I mean? Like once that starts going and that complimentary football really starts clicking, that's going to be fun to watch.
It's almost like the defense doesn't care, though. I feel like they have the personality of the coach. Yeah. He's an energy ball. Yeah. And they're just like, all right, let's play D. Yeah. That's what it looks like.
We've seen defenses, I think, quit at times in this city. Like once the offense fails them time and time again, we've exerted all the effort and energy we have, boys.
Like what else can we do at this point?
Right.
Think about this. Last year, even 2 years ago, what would have happened? We're 10-10. What would have happened? One of our tackles would given up a terrible sack on third down. Our quarterback throws the pick. Or we fumble, and then our defense, has a blown coverage, and they beat us by 7. I mean, how many times
Trevor
did that happen? Right, just whoever. That happened, but not Sunday, right? So I think that, that's just a little sliver.
Right.
You can't, be like, oh, this is it. No, well, let's see you keep doing that.
Yeah.
But that was a great sign and a great step in the right direction, in my opinion, because we all know last year, 2 years ago, they lose that game because of self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah, and I also think you have to take advantage of games like this too. They have a very favorable schedule to start the season because some of the things the Texans offense isn't looking good. The Niners are beat up. Bengals lost Joe Burrow. There's a lot of things that are saying win these games, but there were moments last year where you felt like that, and defensively and offensively, you weren't taking advantage of those moments. So that's when you get those games where you're like, okay, let's take advantage of some of these other teams not playing their best right now, and the Jaguars are doing that.
I think I'm going to ban the phrase winnable games when it comes to the NFL, because obviously we talked about it yesterday. The Falcons scored 0 points against the Panthers. The Panthers blow them out 30-0. The Packers losing to the Browns. I almost hate that phrase or that just idea, because it is such a week-to-week league. And I know that's a cliche, but that is reality. Yeah. Literally any team can win and lose.
Well, I think people, they think a bad team has all bad players, and they don't always have bad players. They just have a bad team.
Why does the receiver coach get fired from Atlanta when they give up 30?
He's probably like, hold up.
Yeah, former Gator, by the way.
Ike Hilliard.
Yeah, when I saw that yesterday, I was like, that's unfair.
Yeah, what is that?
That should have been a defensive coach for sure.
That lets you know there was some kind of issue, behind the scenes as well.
After the 49ers, though, the Jaguars play host to the Chiefs, play host to the Seahawks, and then go to London and take on the Rams. I think that's a fairly difficult stretch. And the 49ers, even with injuries, if Brock Purdy's playing, even without Kittle and Bosa, there's still obviously some talented players there too.
McCaffrey can hurt you.
Yeah, but you don't want to lose your momentum that you just gained and worked super hard for this past Sunday. All right, we will keep the Jaguars conversation going. Tom's takeaways are on the other side. You are listening to 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Helmets and Heels. Brought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. It's a sauce kind of football season with Chick-fil-A chicken strips. Each crispy, juicy bite only gets better when you choose your favorite sauces to dip into and create your own flavor combinations. Will it be sriracha and ranch, honey and buffalo, barbecue, and Chick-fil-A sauce? With 21 different sauce pairings possible, it's easy to go on a flavor adventure. Order in a 4-count, 10-count, or in a catering tray. Get an order started today in the Chick-fil-A app and dip on in.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the First Coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
Helmets and Heels is returning to Vegas. If you're heading out for the big game, join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for a Halloween weekend football getaway, featuring Circa room discounts and a huddle up for everyone in the teal and black. Meet Helmets and Heels Friday night, October 31st, then hit the Circa Stadium Swim with temperature-controlled pools and a massive betting screen. For Circa room discounts and more information, visit the 1010XL webpage or circalasvegas.com/huddleup-up.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barry here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barry Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barry Orthopedics.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Tom McManus, Taylor Dahl, Aaron Beasley, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Recapping a Jaguars 17-10 victory over the Texans. That's right, the first one at Everbank Stadium, where the Jaguars beat the Texans since 2017. I'm so glad that those demons have now been exercised. Time now for Tom's Takeaways.
Now.
Okay, it's go time.
Tommy's Takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
I'd like to dedicate today's takeaways to our friend Lauren Brooks in honor of Billy Napier, because up in Tennessee, Brian Callahan, the head coach of the Titans, is now relinquishing his offensive play calling duties to quarterbacks coach Bo Hardigree. And I know that's got to burn you just a tiny bit, because Billy Napier has yet to do that. Hey, listen, what's the message? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And Callahan's like, I'm running. I'm just going to be the head coach. And let's see if Bo Hardigree can light some fire in my offense. And that is the takeaway today, brought to you by our friends at J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
I so appreciate that dedication. Bo Hardigree has only called plays for one team. That was the Raiders when Josh McDaniels was fired in 2023.
Oh.
And yet he is going to take over play calling.
0-6. Here we come.
Napier refused to hire an offensive coordinator in the offseason.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder if the coaches do that. You don't see it often, but you've seen it a few times in the last 5-6 years. You've seen it. And I wonder sometimes if it's like, okay, like you guys are giving me a hard time. Let's see, call plays. Let's see if you can get something going with this.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen in the past, and then it doesn't work. And then the coaches are like, what do you want me to do with this? What do you want me to do with this?
I feel like if I'm the GM and I think that Brian Callahan's doing a bad job, then I want to just see what the offense can look like with someone else. The problem there is, we talked about this yesterday, Taylor and Aaron, Cam Ward has been sacked 15 times through 3 games. That's obviously 5 times per game for a rookie. He's on pace to be sacked 85 times this season. You have a horrendous offensive line. Who can call good plays with a bad offensive line? It's hard enough to call plays with a good offensive line.
Well, and I saw the Titans fans posting also. They're like, what does this guy even do? And there's a picture of Calvin Ridley. And I was like, well.
Right.
We can explain. We can explain. He doesn't exactly know the playbook, and that's certainly part of the problem.
Well, I think with Cam Ward, you got to get the ball out quick and tell him to take off and run when there's an opening. You know, if you're going to be running for your life, you might as well run and try to make something happen than just run backwards or sideways and not do anything and throw the ball away. But it's a tall order as a rookie QB, especially when you're under duress like that, Bees. And again, you got to, if the line ain't going to hold up, the ball's got to come out ultra quick.
This ain't college.
Yeah,
right. You know, it's like when you look at Caleb, you know, he went through the same thing last year. You think you can make all those spectacular plays, but there's a time clock, and that ball must be gone. You know, you watched Cam Ward last year. You know, he does something like, he's not going to do that next year.
Right.
Because you got to throw the ball on time. There's a rhythm. You work on this all week, and you got to, especially with a line like that, you know.
Sandlot doesn't work in the NFL.
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it does on Hail Marys, but other than that,
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times with those guys, because Cam Ward's strength, obviously his arm, they talk about his arm talent. And if you don't have time for those plays to develop that type of quarterback can get the ball downfield to those guys, you have to adjust. And I haven't watched enough Titans football this year to see if they have too many long developing plays that his line, you're getting sacked, and when you're holding the ball and running around and trying to make something happen, that was the issue a lot with Caleb last year. Is when you don't have time, you try and get those here. You try to play hero ball and you run around, and it worked in college and it doesn't anymore. So you do have to kind of focus on maybe getting some quicker stuff for Cam. I don't want it to work. I want the Titans to suck. So I'm not trying to help them in this point in time. But if that's your mindset of your rookie quarterback.
And it would be fine if the Titans want to beat the Texans this upcoming weekend and send the Texans to 0-4. I'm okay if the Titans get their first win. It is interesting to me, and I know everyone just made complete fun of Xavier Restrepo, who was with obviously Cam Ward in Miami because of his slow 40 time. Yeah, I understand. Those jokes are going to come when he runs as slow as he did. But he's on the Titans practice squad.
Right.
Those two had a phenomenal synergy in college.
Slot.
I would at least make him active one game and just see if I can
something clicks.
Get that same chemistry that they had. And again, I know it's not college, but at some point in time, you got to try something else, and that's obviously why he is turning the play calling.
I think a big thing with guys, listen, and I get it, because if I had a massive arm that I could whip balls, I would take every chance in the book. You know what I mean? That sounded so terrible. But, I'm talking football.
Passes.
Yeah, but, like you believe in that arm so much, and you're just going to whip it. You're just like, I'm going for it. I can do it. I can make it. I did it in high school. I did it in college. Well, what you don't realize is that window goes from here wide to really narrow, and you really got to be on time. But it's like a blessing and a curse. Like, you have the arm, which is fantastic, but you got to know when to hone that in. Josh Allen went through it early in his career. Yeah, he came in whipping it around all over, like, holy cow, and then he'd throw like 15 picks. Like, yo, you got to chill out and try to hone that whole thing in. So I'm sure that's part with Cam, but at the end of the day, you got to get it out quick. I'll go back to Caleb Williams. He's still, he made some outstanding. That flea flicker, like, holy cow, what a throw. But even like the throw to Kmet, like, just put it on him. Like, why does he got to jump for it and, make this miraculous catch, Like, so he's still a little off in his placement of the football. And even some routine throws he missed. I watch and Dallas isn't very good, obviously. I like their running back, though, 33. Man, he runs hard. Dallas is
Williams.
He's a beast. I like it. Yeah, Javonte, yeah, he's I like him a lot.
Cowboys would be better with Micah Parsons and Jordan Lewis.
No doubt.
But either way,
we'll take Jordan, though. Can't have him back.
Cam Ward got the ball quickly on that pick six, I thought.
He jumped it. Yep.
But
he probably threw it inside, too, and you can't do that on those things. So
you're so limited with a rookie, you can't bring your whole playbook as well. You got to get him comfortable with a certain amount of plays. And I'm looking at their lineup. They don't really have too many threats out on the outside that can, like threaten the defense, where you can get up in those guys' faces and they're probably not going to get at the ball. You got Tyler Lockett, he's a little older. Calvin Ridley's a little older.
Ridley, the $50 million man.
Hey,
do
get
nothing.
Get your money.
We were so upset at first that he was leaving. And
I was not.
Right. Yeah.
I did not want to resign
fans. We were so upset. Yeah, look, I think certain quarterbacks have to learn ball placement. And I think to bring it back to the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence still has to learn ball placement. And I understand people say, it's year 5. Why do you have to learn this? I can't answer that question. All I can tell you is now watching 3 games into Liam Cohen's system, the system itself is not going to miraculously fix him.
No. And, I wonder what it is. Like, I know the one on they were going, let's see, that was north to south. He threw it to Strange on the side, and it was wide. And he threw this sidearm throw. Like, I only think he did it once, but that's like
Liam
one where
probably got in his ear and said,
don't do that again.
We've been working on this all
Patrick
off season. Don't whip it sideways. And I think that's a lot of it. It's that pointing that foot and driving that hip through to make sure that ball gets there on time. So, like B says, what's nice, it's early.
Yeah.
Like, you expect it to get better. And look, all we can go by is what we saw last. And what we saw last was a good drive to win the football game. You know what I mean? So hopefully they can learn from everything else and then take that and be like, all right, look, we showed resolve. We showed grit. We blocked it up nice. Our quarterback had time. We had holes running the football. It was all good. So let's bottle that up and see if we can duplicate that for the weeks to come. And maybe they can. Look, again, all you can do is practice hard. and practice catching the rock and practice bringing them, hitting it in your hands and bringing it into your body, whether it's on the jug machines or with the QB or the backup QB, after practice, during practice, while you're resting, just work on those hands.
Sleep.
Man. Yeah.
Well, I think these guys have the best gloves ever, though. You know, they don't have, like, these gloves they have nowadays.
Yeah.
If Odell can make that catch, he should make every catch. Yeah. I mean, these guys have it's almost like Stickum, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't make no excuses
do
for
they
it.
get slippery like ours did?
I think if they get wet.
If they get wet, they do, yeah. Sometimes it's
there
better
was no
just
rain
not
at
to-
the bank.
Well, you sweat. You just sweat. You know, you just get
I do wonder if it's frustrating for a guy like Liam Cohen who played obviously quarterback in high school and in college and then had the injury, so he wasn't able to play at the next level. And he probably is seeing the field so well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he just wants his quarterback to see the field.
Yeah.
And he couldn't probably never make some of the throws that Trevor can make. And it's not just a Liam Trevor thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure it happened with Doug Peterson too. Like,
Yeah.
Trevor, this is
You
where
have
the
all the
football
talent
should
in the
go.
world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're throwing these interceptions, especially in the red zone.
Well, look, go back a week ago. That's what he was saying with Diami and that curl.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to make this incredible throw. It doesn't have to be a miraculous throw. Just put it on him. He's open. I got him open on time for you. Just deliver it on time. Now, you're not going to be perfect on every one. You know this, of course. But you got to be closer than you're not, you know, depending on what throw.
Do you think that him throwing fastballs every time could be the problem?
Maybe.
You know, because you don't have to throw 100 miles per hour every time, you know. It's like, I try to teach my quarterback, just get him, throw it to him.
Now, I'm not a receiver, right? Obviously, I played, they clunked off my hands.
Really?
I tipped it to you.
Tommy tip ball.
I tipped it to you, man. I tipped it to you. If you have to change your body, like position, like I got to turn around, I got to do whatever, I got to jump, then it makes it harder to catch a fastball, I would think, right? Wouldn't you agree with that?
No doubt.
Like if I just do it down and out, it comes in hot, no big deal, it's coming in the spot, boom, I catch it. But if I got to turn and then get my hands up because it's high, and then it's coming in hot, probably more
and that's,
difficult.
like I said earlier, that's those faster passes bounce up, and that's where the turnovers are created.
Can happen,
And so, I don't know if that's something that Trevor can control. Like his
He's just a gunslinger. He's just a gunslinger.
Yes, velocity is his velocity.
Do you remember Byron? Byron threw a beautiful deep ball.
Yep.
He threw one of the greatest deep balls in probably the history of our team. But he, the close ones, he'd wing and go right off him. And you'd be like, you had give him a little air, but
They're getting cross-eyed.
real fast.
All right, Beast, I know you got to go. What's coming up this week for Duval Charter?
Today is Toughness Tuesdays.
All right.
We're going to put the pads on and hit each other and
shoot drill.
Get after it.
I'll probably put some more today, too.
Oh, all right.
Come on, Beast. Go get him.
I'm lying. I fell asleep at 8 o'clock last night. I'm not
So you're ready for Toughness Tuesday. All right.
That's right.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We've got more to do on the other side. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I did not see this one coming.
Radio play-by-play is like stepping in a theater in your mind.
As good as it gets.
1010XL, Jacksonville's home for play-by-play.
Hey, First Coast, it's your boy Leon Cersei, your lemon pepper guy. Back and better than ever for Wingstop. You know I can't resist those crispy, flavorful wings that make your taste buds dance. Wingstop just opened a hot new spot on Jeremiah Street in Middleborough. There's 17 locations now serving up the most mouth-watering wings in town. And my all-time favorite, lemon pepper. Try their new quick and easy ordering on the app and swing by today for fresh, hot wings made for you. Only at Wingstop.
Helmets and heels.
Backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Jacksonville is game time. And just like the Jaguars fight for every yard on the field, Duck Rooter fights for every customer at home. From plumbing repairs to septic pump outs to keeping your AC cool all season long. We've got the winning playbook. Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and delivers championship service every time. When plumbing, septic, or AC problems put you on defense, don't fumble the call. Dial 904-862-6769 or visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On September 23rd, 1988, Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana missed his first start for the San Francisco 49ers after 49 consecutive starts.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite roofing contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Looking for that designer engagement ring like Tacori or Viraggio? Then hear this. The only locally owned authorized dealer here for these exquisite rings is Beards Diamonds. Beards is your destination for the top names in bridal design. Tacori, Viraggio, Sylvie, Gabriel & Company, Gnome Carver, and more. If she's seen it on Pinterest or in a bridal magazine, Beards has it. Exquisite, handcrafted, and made in America. So you can get her the ring of her dreams without having to go to one of those national mega chain jewelers. At Beards, there's no big company rules, no Wall Street sales goals, no impersonal service. The non-commissioned experts at Beards Diamonds will take their time and let you see dozens of ring styles from all the most sought-after designers. Beards is proud to be Jacksonville's premier jeweler for nearly 45 years. We're committed to this area and promise an authentic, refined, and risk-free experience without markups, without pricing games, without corporate red tape getting in the way of making you happy. Beards Diamonds, Jacksonville's diamond store, at the shops at St. John's Town Center.
Swing for the future of veterans and military spouses at Operation New Uniform's second annual Patriot Games Golf Tournament. I'm Michelle McManaman.
And I'm Pete Langlois. Join us Monday, October 6th. Register today at onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Oh, you gonna take me home tonight? Oh, down beside that red firelight.
Is this one of the songs your band can do? Fat Bottom Girls?
Yeah, we
like
do
me?
sing this one, actually, yeah.
I love
yeah,
it.
it's fun. It's a good one. I don't think we're doing it this Saturday at the charity event, though. This won't be played, I don't
Keep
think.
it a little classier. I can understand that.
They want more dance and stuff. They don't want too much, banging, so. But yeah, it's a good one. It's a good
Dancing can lead to... Never mind.
It can.
There you go.
All right,
There you go.
Taylor Dahl.
Tops off.
That's a tangent.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
So I hinted at this a little bit earlier in the show about some of my frustrations coming with the offense so far. And the drops we've talked about a lot will continue until they're not a problem. It's just, it is what it is. But for example, so after that first touchdown drive, obviously we said that first one, they're backed up, nothing happened, 3 and out, and that they score that next drive. After that, in the entire first half, they had 14 pass plays where they went 5 for 14. Only ran the ball 2 times, getting 7 yards on those 2 runs. 5 penalties, a sack, lost 33 yards between those 5 penalties and a sack, and 4 punts that led to. That final touchdown drive to win, 2 pass plays, went 1 for 2 on that, the long one to BTJ. 5 runs, getting 37 yards out of those 5 runs, converting a 3rd and 6 with the run and a 2nd and 3 with the run, giving first downs for both of those. So I don't understand why you're not running the ball more. It's frustrating to me because it's working, and when it's working, you're scoring. And then when you're not, when you start to abandon the run, it's not going to every single play work. But I just feel like if they have a run that doesn't work, all of a sudden they just aren't doing it. And we talked last year about how they were saying, last week, that maybe Trevor was audibling some stuff, so maybe he changed some of those run plays. You shouldn't be throwing the ball 82 times right now because nobody can catch the ball. Trevor's overthrowing. You're throwing throwing picks. I think you need to lean on the run a little bit more until this offense, the pass catching side of the offense, settles down a little bit. And I'm not saying abandon that either, because we know Trevor's arm and we know some of the big plays this week were pass plays that kept them in the game and winning the game. But you're still you were 4 for 15 on third downs. You can't let that happen. You're tied for the most offensive penalties in the entire NFL right now. Top 5 most offensive penalty yards and 13 drops, leading the NFL. The next closest is Dallas with 9.
Yep.
I don't know why you're leaning so heavily into the passing game right now when it's just not completely working for the game in a whole. I think your run game, and you have multiple different types of backs, and when you're seeing that, like on that final drive, and you're leaning into the run, it's working.
So sorry, Tom, I was just going to say, Liam Cohen had this quote after the game, Taylor. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. In the first half, we had a bunch of runs called, and then they had some blitzes and different looks. They came out in a 5-big package to our 12 personnel, which was unscouted. So in other words, instead of being the 4-3, it was more of a 5-2. The Jaguars were not obviously prepared for that, at least according to what he said post-game. And then we had needed to adjust at halftime, and we did. So I understand why in the first half, they were having to change plays because the Texans were doing something that was unexpected to them. Now, I could harp on the fact, why was that unexpected? Just because they haven't shown it through the first 2 weeks doesn't mean that it's not an option. But, Tom, you could speak more to that.
Yeah, and listen, the key is they made the adjustment, because second half running was definitely better than the first half, for sure. And you do have to block it up different. You count them different. Who the mic is might be different, how we're going to double, who we're going to double, and that type of thing. So there could be some adjustments there, but they made the adjustments, so that's a good thing. I think that last drive showed you need to run.
Yeah.
I mean, it loosened them up. There's no doubt. If you're going to do play-action pass, you can't start off with play-action pass. You know what I mean? You can start off with a pass to loosen them up. I'm not saying that. But in order for the play action to work, you have to run the football. And I will say this, another thing we need to see more out of the offense is what Trevor did on that third down, take off and run and get that first down. I mean, that's a weapon. He is such a weapon when he takes off. He's a big guy who can run. He's deceptively fast, and he showed that he's still tough. I mean, he's not afraid to, he ran the guy over. So I think the combination of that really opened up that dig route to Brian Thomas Jr. But you're right, Taylor. They need to run the football more. They need to get that outside off tackle going. The trap has been very good. The tight end coming down and opening up that off tackle. Once you get, you got to go underneath him and let him go before you. And they've done a good job of that. Receivers are blocking down the field. Our tight ends are blocking. Hainsey's blocking all over the place. Hainsey, he's getting after it, going downfield looking for people. So that mentality's really good to see, from our offense.
Yeah, they ran it at 3.6 yards per carry this week, so not nearly as good as the first 2 weeks. But again, every week, as we've talked about it all offseason, every week's going to look different with Travis Hunter, and every week's going to look different with their offensive game plan and their defensive game plan. And the Texans are a really stout defense. It doesn't surprise me that the Jaguars only put up 17 points against that group, especially with those edge rushers. But to your point, if you can take pressure off of Trevor Lawrence, then that's what you need to do. Yeah. And Bashal Tutin is a star. Yeah. I think this guy is going to be the best running back on this team by the end of the year. I don't know at what point we'll see more carries for Tutin over Etienne. I'm not saying that, but it seems like every time he touches the football, he gets positive yards. He never stops moving his legs. And we don't always see that with every other running back, or certainly not last year with Etienne and even Tank Bigsby, who was the leading rusher.
Yeah, and that's why I just think that when you do it, and I'm not saying it has to be 50-50, but 14 pass plays and 2 run plays, I feel like that when it's not working, it just wasn't. When we're talking about the drops right now, we're talking about the illegal shifts, we're talking about all these things, and you're still leaning into something that doesn't feel like it's totally clicking. And down the stretch, good. You adjusted and you started running the ball. I still think it almost took to the fourth quarter to really start to see the run, which is, I'm glad it happened, because you wouldn't have won the game, honestly, if you didn't run the ball the way you did in the fourth quarter.
Too many drops, too many missed throws. I don't think we're saying that enough either. Trevor's got to hit these guys better. He doesn't hit them enough where that ball needs to be. Even on some of his completions, he's got to hit them better so they can go make a play instead of having to turn and jump and do all this stuff. I mean, you talk about the down the sideline that Stingley knocked the ball out or looked like he did. Throw it out in front of him. You got him. You got to beat. Why does he have to stop and jump for a long football? Throw it earlier and get that ball out there and let him just go get it. You saw that a couple times. So hopefully that's more timing and just getting used to that and letting it go. And we listen, how many times do we see during practice and camp, you could hear Udinsky behind the quarterback going, throw it. Throw it. Throw it like now.
Yeah.
It's time. Like, don't wait. Don't wait till they're open. Don't wait till you feel comfortable. Throw it to that spot and let them go get it. And hopefully as we get on, they start, because let's be honest, if they start clicking on that, we could be a dangerous team.
Yeah, and that's what Beasley said that every week he's been in here where he has that clock in his head, obviously being a defensive back, and he said every time he says throw, Trevor does it right after he's already saying throw.
Yeah.
And so it's just that millisecond of time a little faster. A lot of these things maybe look a little bit better.
Yeah, at least he is getting the protection with tons of time to throw. That's
he has had plenty of time.
That's been a really nice thing to see. I do wonder, Taylor, if the Jaguars' run game will look and mirror kind of the Bucs last year, where it took them a little bit of time to get going. And outside of week one, I think it took them really until the second month of the season to get over 100 yards on the ground. And so certainly we shall see. But we've got lunch to give away.
We do. Free lunch to Chick-fil-A. Give us a call at 641-1010, and you get free lunch to Chick-fil-A today.
With you out yesterday, we had so many people upset
where's
that
my
there was
Chick-fil-A?
no Chick-fil-A lunch.
Well, let's say caller number 3. I forgot to. You got the lunch yesterday, Tom.
Yeah, Tom took it. All right, we've got more to do on the other side. More football to discuss. It's 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Number 91 joins number 55. Eric Armstead brings his big resume to Helmets and Heels Fridays at 3. Tuned up by orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville. Move better, live stronger. Jacksonville's trusted orthopedic experts.
I'm Frank Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter Amber's journey with Awaken 180. Well, ready for this? She has now lost 60 pounds. That number's real, 60 pounds in a little over 3 months. And here's the thing, she loves doing it. She just went on a trip to Tampa to see a concert, sort of a road trip. And I asked her, was it hard to stay on the diet? She said, Dad, that's just it. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change, and it's sustainable. And it's sustainable even when you're on the road. She is so excited. It has not changed her life. I think that's the best thing. It's a lifestyle change, but it doesn't ruin your life. She's loving her life, and she's so excited that she's been able to lose all that weight. You can do the same thing. You can kickstart your transformation. Call 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. It's working for Amber, and she's so excited, and I promise you it can work for you. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Lauren Brooks here for my friends at Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast, and you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they will show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house, because they care about what matters most to you. So when pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule your free inspection online. That's right, a free inspection. That's TERMINIX.com.
Helmets and Heels from the Greenlaw Group Studios.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
One man, one hammer. One place to hear it drop. Hammer Time with Hayes, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority, and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
This is Jaguar Hall of Famer Tony Baselli telling you about Heritage of North Florida, Jacksonville's premier roofing and home remodeling company. With over 25 years of trusted experience, Heritage of North Florida has built a reputation for quality, reliability, and craftsmanship. Whether you need a new roof or updating your kitchen or bathroom, trust the pros at Heritage of North Florida to create the perfect place to call home. Mention Jaguars to get $1,500 off your next roof or kitchen remodel when you go to heritagenfl.com. Go Jags!
Jags fans, this one's for you. If you've got MyGate rewards, you're already in the game. But now you've got a shot at the ultimate prize, meeting QB1 himself, Trevor Lawrence, at Everbank Stadium with 3 friends by your side. With the MyGate Rewards Gatorade Club, every 5 Gatorade items you purchase equals 1 entry toward your chance to win. Stack them up and score big. See store for details. Gear up for the season. Gates got you.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp will be in the International League Championship Series beginning tonight at Five Star Ballpark, taking on the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders at 7:05. This is the first chance for Jacksonville to play in the International Series since the Jacksonville Mets won it all back in 1968. It's 88 degrees at 3 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Song, Peace, Love, and Cowboys.
Oh, Peace, Love.
You know, you can always tell the music. You know what I mean? Like,
who chooses what?
Yeah, who's got what? You can figure it out like the minute you hear it for the most part.
70s, 80s, or 90s rock is Tom.
Yep.
Yep, for the most part.
Pretty much all country is me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
anything probably a little heavy, Taylor.
Thrashing and headbanging. Taylor, no.
But she also, like, Paramore is not that style.
Yeah, they're not super heavy.
Yeah, Paramore's cool.
I would say anything alternative is Taylor.
Yeah.
Anything.
Sometimes the occasional Bieber.
Yeah. Anything R&B would certainly be Taylor.
Yeah. Usually those are RJ, but sometimes I'll throw one in there. If it's Drake, probably me. But
we have
it is pretty easy to tell. Even the text line knows. Like immediately they're like, "This is a Taylor song. This is a Lauren song." I'm like, I know.
And I'm not trying to trick anybody. I just add the music that I like.
Yeah, no, nothing wrong with that. I like country.
Peace, Love, and Cowboys. Exactly. All right. One other NFL item we did not get to. Jackson Dart will get the start for the New York Giants. So after going 0-3, I think a lot of Giants fans obviously have been excited to see Jackson Dart. Is now the right time, Tom? Because, by the way, the Giants play host to the Chargers this Sunday at 1 p.m. The Chargers are 3-0.
I mean, look, Dayball's fighting for his life, the head coach. So he's sitting there going, I don't care, if I'm hurting anybody's feelings, I got to do something. I got to save my career, save my job here. Look, I mean, 2 weeks ago, we were raving about Russell Wilson. He was killing the deep ball, threw for 450 yards. I mean, he's just absolutely insane. I get as a head coach that maybe on his last leg, he's got to figure something out quick. But I think the problem is, like, if it doesn't work, then what do? You going back to Russell? I mean, he'll play. But, I mean, I'm sure he'll give it his all. But at the same time, it just messes everything up, So is it too early? Well, it depends on the coach. If the coach is in his first year, no, it's not too early. It is too early, right? Because you got time. If he's in his whatever year Daboll's in and he's on the hot seat, then no, it's not too early. But the problem is if it doesn't work.
They have Jameis, so in theory, if it doesn't work with Jackson Dart, you could insert Jameis Winston and say...
Try to just bring some life, some fun into the world.
If we're going to lose, at least let's have fun.
That's a great call. That's a great call. I forgot
but if Jackson Dart can form a good relationship with Malik Neighbors, you could be successful.
Yeah, and that's like, it's hard. It's a hard conversation to have when it's comes to these young quarterbacks, because you've seen it in a lot of different ways the last few years. You've seen the teams give up on the quarterbacks too soon, put one in, it not work. They kind of abandon that situation, and then they go somewhere else and they play well. We talked about Baker Mayfield. We've talked about Geno Smith. We've talked about Sam Darnold right now.
Daniel Jones.
So there's so many examples of that happening that it's like, what if you were just a little more patient with your quarterback? And even if this comes out and Jackson Dart has some struggles, maybe that's good. Maybe you come out, this is how you start to develop, and you're learning the NFL and you're getting these things in. But it is, if you have to pull him back out, I don't know what that feels like. We saw it with Bryce Young, and Bryce Young came back last year and played better after he was benched.
That's right.
I don't know how many other situations you've had like that, though. It does kind of feel like once you put that rookie quarterback in and have to take him back out, a lot of times it's more so a little, it feels like more of a shot at the rookie quarterback, and they don't really, it usually doesn't work as well. But it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. And then I also think, depending on what year the coach is in, because what's his, like, say they just don't end up having a good year, but maybe they finish strong and Dart looks promising, you could sit there and be like, well, I did have a rookie. You know what I mean? Like, I made the move. Mm-hmm. Give me another year. You know what I mean? This is part of the whole thinking. It may not be the best for the team, but or the best for the team, but best for that coach at that moment. But again, look, it's crazy with Russell. He was so good with Seattle, like just so good. And you're like, man, this guy's a Hall of Famer. Yeah. Like, he's just unbelievable. His arm, he can move around.
His legacy's gone backwards.
Well, I think I felt personally like when he went to, in Denver, it was more about his brand. Every picture, he was perfectly coiffed, his hair looked great. He's got the perfect
I think that's
watch.
the first time that word has ever made this program.
I mean, I know what a coiff is. Just perfectly dressed, had the great, handbag, and somehow he's just miraculously photographed, like walking to, it's like, and he would promote it and with all this stuff. I always felt like it was more about his brand than getting back to playing ball. But then I thought he got back to playing some ball. So I don't know. Look, again, you're the head coach. You're trying to fight for your life. You're trying to figure it out. You're trying to save your ass.
Yeah.
And you got a young kid that he shown some promise early. I liked him at Ole Miss. He saw him a couple games. Tough kid. Played the game the right way. And, he's looked decently so far. But, man, you're throwing it to a rook. I guess you're sinking ship in 03. Might as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I feel like maybe it is. To your point, Tommy, it is Brian Daboll saying, here's what I've got. Like, let me, especially if during this season, like you said, if they don't win a lot, because by the way, this is their schedule: Chargers, Saints, Philly, Broncos, Philly, San Fran, Bears, Packers, Lions, Patriots, Washington, Vikings, Raiders, Cowboys. So it's not the easiest stretch, especially right now that Jackson Dart's going straight into. You have the Chargers, Philly twice, the Broncos, the Niners, the Packers coming up in the beginning of the time you're getting thrown out there. But I do think that if you see improvements through Jackson Dart throughout the season, then Daboll's saying, look, like, I made the decision to switch the quarterback. We started seeing those improvements throughout the season, so this is my chance to be saved. And if it doesn't go right, at least you tried everything you could to try and make it go right.
Yeah, and the tricky part is the selection of the quarterback is not usually a head coach decision. It's the general manager's decision. And if they're not in alignment, then you end up in a situation where you don't have the best offense, right? Mm-hmm. Because you don't have a head coach who's aligned with the quarterback. And I often wonder here, did Doug Peterson want to give Trevor Lawrence the extension when Trent Baalke did? I have no idea. Yeah. We'll never know because neither one is employed here anymore. But obviously Trent Baalke went ahead with it and the owner signed off on it. And I don't know if Doug Peterson was there yet. And so that causes, I feel like, some tension if that is the case, especially between the head coach and the quarterback when things don't go well. But yeah, as far as the 0-3 teams, this upcoming weekend, we have Jets at the Dolphins Monday night at 7:15.
We got to flex this out of
How
there.
did the Jets get a Monday night game? Come on.
New York,
Seriously?
I suppose. We have the Titans at the Texans, so a battle again of 0-3 teams at 1 p.m. We just talked about the Giants playing host of the Chargers, and then the Saints, the other 0-3 team, is at the Bills, also a 1 p.m. game.
Yikes.
So, yikes is right. As far as the 3-0 teams, we have the Eagles at the Bucks. You mentioned that one earlier.
That'd be a good one.
Battle of 3-0 teams. One of them obviously will end up with a loss, and then the other 3-0 team we have not yet discussed, the Colts at the Rams.
Ooh,
that one
that's
4:05, and then of course the Jaguars at the 49ers.
Yeah.
4:05.
I think the Rams got a good team. I do. I mean, they went toe-to-toe with Philly. Philly came back. Now, obviously, they came back and won that game, but
Yeah,
I
they
think
have
the Rams
a
are
really young defensive front that is getting after it.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, when you have Sean McVay as the play caller, you're going to be, I think, in every single game. The Eagles just are probably a little bit more talented. Yeah, that is 100% true. All right, so some college football on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
A great season often depends on keeping your best players on the field.
Let me know if he's ever going to play football again, or do I need to find me another wide receiver?
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville.
Come on, you can't play without me.
On 1010XL.
Hey, fellow Floridians, it's Ben.
And Brianna Smith. We are foodies who love sharing recipes online.
And trying new cooking techniques on our new natural gas stove.
He loves his precise temperature control on the heat.
Yeah, I also love saving money and using less energy.
Oh, watch that flame.
So, who loves to be in control?
Now earn up to a $300 cashback rebate for installing a new energy-efficient natural gas range or stovetop. To learn more, go to peoplesgas.com/rebates.
Helmets and Heels.
Protected by
Green Law Group. For the insured. Fighting for you.
When it comes to your utility bill, JEA wants to help you use less so you can save more. We offer a variety of free programs, like efficiency and irrigation assessments that'll teach you ways to conserve energy and water around your home. Our alerts will let you know when your utility usage has reached a set amount, and our rebates can help you save when upgrading to more efficient appliances and equipment. Find even more ways to save at JEA.com.
The Friday Night Lights are shining even brighter as 1010XL has partnered with Channel 4 to bring you Friday Night Lights, a live streaming show at 7 o'clock every Friday, presented by Farah and Farah on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4.
I love my propane company. They always answer when I call and give me great prices and fast service. Said no one ever.
Until now. Need propane for your home or business? Seabreeze Propane is bringing the propane as North Florida's new local propane provider. Visit SeabreezeLP.com. Seabreeze Propane. We make propane cool, brother. Oh, yeah.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
30 years strong in Jack's Beach. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn is celebrating with the largest firearms sale this month. Save big with no sales tax on firearms during the Second Amendment sales tax holiday. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach. 30 years of trust, savings, and service.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Like
Yeah,
I
that's
said,
a good
if
one.
it falls in the rock category,
Metallica.
it's probably Tom.
We saw them at Lollapalooza in Chicago 2 summers ago, and
Unbelievable.
oh my gosh, outdoors.
Yeah.
There was like 100,000 people. We somehow got like 50 yards from the stage, and like 20 yards from the big screen. And it was great because for decades I would tell my wife, you got to listen to Metallica. I'm not listening to Metallica. I'm like, you should listen to Metallica. She's like, I'm not listening to Metallica. I said, all right, whatever. 2 songs in, she looks around, turns around, she's like, you know, they're pretty good. I'm like, I know they're pretty good. And then the next time I get in her car, I'm cranking up. All right, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Sometimes seeing a band live is what helps. Like, because you can listen a million times, but especially Metallica, like somebody like those type of bands live, it's just a whole different energy. And
absolutely,
there's been a lot of bands where I've had friends being like, you should really listen to them. And Bill Murray was one of those. Like, so many friends told me to listen, and then at Rockville, I finally saw them live, and I'm like, they are fantastic.
Wow.
Now I'm obsessed with them. And
there
so sometimes it just takes that live energy to really like click.
Mm-hmm. And it can hurt you the other way, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you see something like, it didn't sound that good, I'm not going back.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
That has happened to me once with John Mellencamp. It was a terrible performance, and I was like, now I'm never again listening. And I liked him beforehand.
Yeah. He's like a gnome. He reminds me of a gnome. Isn't that how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
You know, not
like
gnome.
Not gnome.
That is correct. Well done. I'm so glad you got that.
We learn things here every day.
Every day.
Here all day.
Time now for Lawrence Lane.
Now, Lawrence Lane, driven by Mazda at the Avenues. This is luxury. This is Mazda at the Avenues.
All right, today's hot topic that falls into my Lawrence Lane is actually a hot topic. Have you seen the news that Lane Kiffin's daughter, Landry, announced yesterday on Instagram? She is dating Taylor Dahl. Remember, her father, Lane Kiffin, is the head coach at Ole Miss. She announced to the world yesterday she is dating LSU star linebacker Whit Weeks.
Oh.
Do you know who LSU and Ole Miss? Do you know who LSU and Ole Miss play each other this weekend? Each other. LSU travels to Oxford, Mississippi to take on.
Interesting.
To take on Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin responded or quote tweeted it and said she'll be cheering for the Rebels, so that there's no confusion.
Is she in college?
She goes to Ole Miss.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the picture too. Poor Lane.
She's a hot
I meant the look in the boy's face. Is what I was talking
he was like, oh God.
But I just had to bring that up because they do play each other this weekend, and we're gonna make
a
that
little
part
extra
of our picks.
something.
So it'll be a little extra.
Daddy, can't you just get him a couple extra million to come here? Come on, please. I just want him to be nearby.
Good old Ole.
Yeah.
And did you see this one made me laugh? Just speaking of coaches, the picture of Jordan with Bill Belichick on the sideline, and someone just put a little like speech bubble, and it said, "Can I have some money for snacks, please?"
Right. They were like kissing on the sideline. What's wrong with him?
It's so strange.
Man, he's got dementia or something. Something's going on.
I don't want to comment on that,
cuckoo.
but we did talk about, Taylor, the UCF graphic, and for their winning graphic, they did the UCF Knight laying on the beach holding up a W sign in the same pose that Bill
that's funny. I didn't
Jordan.
see that.
It was pretty funny. All right, another thing in the world of college football, Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy.
Yeah.
21 seasons at Oklahoma State, obviously also played there, has coached there for a long time. He became the head coach in 2005. Fired after going 1-2 to start the season.
Yeah, man, 21 years, right?
It's a long time.
You know, it's funny. Like he used to be like the darling. Like you always wanted to go to him for a quote. Wasn't that the same guy? Like he was that guy, and like everyone liked him, and then. What have you done for me lately, right? And then maybe some chirping going on. Maybe he's not happy with the way things are run. You never know what's going on.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago,
doors, right?
he sparred a little bit verbally with Dan Lanning at Oregon and said, we don't have the same type of resources that you have. Like, if we had those resources, because
like
obviously.
Phil Knight.
Correct. Oregon
cut his mullet off. That ruined everything.
He did cut his mullet off. But, yeah, I think a lot of times there's more to what is just on the surface. And obviously, they didn't have a great season last year. Oklahoma State did not. And then this year, obviously, again, you get destroyed by Oregon, and that's a bad look at, what was it, 63-3?
Yeah, they killed them. And then Tulsa beat them too, which is like an in-state kind of rival.
And then, that's certainly not going to help the situation. And so I think, I'm sure the fact that he's publicly criticizing his own university's resources is not helping the case either. Yeah, they lost 69-3.
Yeah, sometimes it's just time to go.
Yeah,
it's just time to part ways.
And it's funny, Lauren, because I remember probably about a year ago, we had Cole Thompson on for SEC Unfiltered, and we were talking about who the Gators could possibly look at if Billy Napier was fired. Deja vu right now with that conversation. But yeah, remember he said Mike Gundy, and you were like, no.
Absolutely not.
No.
You are correct. I was like, not a chance.
I was like, bring the mullet to Florida. Let's go.
Not a chance.
There will be a line for that job, I bet you. No doubt.
For Florida.
Yeah, Florida's still one of the top programs.
I thought you meant Oklahoma State.
No,
I was like,
I doubt there will be a line for that one. Maybe
tricky.
a local line.
Yeah.
Maybe within the area, but no, you'd think Florida. That's still a coveted job.
Oh, yeah. They have to actually fire the head coach, though, first.
Yeah, right. Well,
that's the
I'm
problem.
assuming
Yeah,
that's
there's a
happening.
first step for those.
Yeah. First step is owning it and then firing the coach.
Yeah,
There
which
you go.
okay, so last year 3-9 for Mike Gundy in Oklahoma State, but the year before 10-4, the year before that 7-6, and then in 2021 12-2.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're talking about he's had a losing record
right.
every season the last 5 years, but something tells me that there's just a little bit of maybe disrespect that he's shown the university and they want to go in a different direction.
Is that the school that had the big booster that passed Boone?
T. Boone Pickens.
And he passed?
Yeah.
Is
A
this
few
part
years
of
ago.
the, why, like Phil Knight, obviously he's and other donors for Oregon, they're loaded, right? But is there some truth to Oklahoma State not having as much?
I mean, it's been since 2019 that
Okay,
since
again,
T. Boone
he still
Pickens
had,
passed
yeah,
away.
right. So he's
Yeah.
had plenty of
Yeah, I think sometimes
opportunity.
things just run its course.
Yeah,
and
it happens.
And I also think, I mean, we've had this conversation about what Saban said himself about the landscape of college football and how it's hard. It's hard to difficult, or it's difficult to kind of handle nowadays when it comes to the portal and everyone moving around and money. And it's turned into something that Saban didn't really like anymore. We know Dabo has fought it, and that doesn't look too good right now. But so, and I don't know the world of details of what Gundy has or hasn't had at Oklahoma State, but I could see some truth to it. But then when you vocalize that and kind of that you're putting down your program at that point, and I don't know how much you can tolerate that if you want to say we can't stand for somebody.
And your players aren't going to love hearing that either.
Yeah, right. And it sounds like maybe the old school meeting the new school, and the old school's like, I don't like the new school. I don't want, some backup linebacker coming into my office saying, Coach, I'm going to need a couple hundred extra thousand or I leave. And you're like, all right, here's the door. Get out. It's got to be aggravating, or they just take their ball and go home or go to another school or get paid by somebody else, and maybe these old guys are just like, Belichick's, I guess, dealing with it, although he's a GM. I'm wondering if the GM,
GM,
like Lombardi, right? So you got to think like maybe he helps him a lot with that kind of stuff. But
yeah, I would guess the programs that do have the GM don't have to at least deal directly with the money and NIL and all of that stuff as much.
Yeah. The AD at Oklahoma State is named Chad Weiberg, and he joined there in July of 2021. So you have to wonder, did they just see things differently?
Yeah.
Which certainly happens. Another thing in the world of college football, the ACC has voted to expand to 9 conference games.
Oh, yeah.
So
Good.
now every Power 4 conference has
the
9 power or has 9 conference games, which I feel like
next year.
We need to, at least get things homogenized when it comes to the different conferences. And then I loved this quote. Taylor, this was going to pay homage to your selection as far as our picks last week. Sorry, Tom.
That's okay.
Because Taylor
I deserve the dagger.
Indiana over Illinois.
Yep.
So Indiana's Kurt Signetti yesterday in talking about this week's game at Iowa. Here's his quote. So we're going to have to play well. This will be a challenge, a more difficult challenge than the last one for sure. Talk about a dig at Illinois and Brett Bielema.
Yeah. I'm not mad. I think Kurt Signetti and a lot of people have done this with Indiana. They go back to last year and they're like, the first tough opponent they played, they got absolutely crushed by. It was Ohio State and the national champions. And then they played Notre Dame pretty close, actually, one in the playoffs. So I think people kind of crapped on them. And they do have, he's turned this into having like a pretty high-powered offense. The defense has gotten even better. They're better against the pass. So that's what they forced. It almost looked like Illinois had to be forced to run the ball and it wasn't working.
And by the way, Curtis Rourke was the quarterback last year. He was getting Heisman attention at points in time, and now they've obviously gotten a different quarterback in Fernando Mendoza, even though he was highly regarded.
Yeah, a lot of people.
But still, that goes to show you how good Signetti is.
Just making that offense around somebody, not saying it's a Josh Heupel level, because I think we've seen that so many times with him, but somebody who's good at being able, okay, here's the next quarterback. How can I build this offense to their strengths? And sometimes that takes a couple weeks to really settle in. But it showed this last week. I mean, they looked, fast, and everybody was catching everything. It looked creative. It looked like Illinois had no answers for anything they were doing offensively.
I was one of those people that crapped on Indiana for sure. And again, it just reiterates, clearly Illinois is not 9th in the country, nor should they have been 9th in the country. No disrespect to my friend Kevin Hardy at all, who's probably listening, but it just shows you there. Signetti came from James Madison, I believe, and brought some guys. Because my friend KD, whose son was playing or does play for James Madison. I think he came from James Madison, and they loved him at James Madison.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, hey, congrats. I mean, that's a whooping. That is a total whooping. You put up that many points against any big team. That's pretty darn impressive.
Yeah, he did coach at
JMU.
James Madison.
Yeah.
And also Elon before that. But look,
Okay.
Indiana's not going to be able to, quote unquote, skate through their schedule this year like they did a season ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they had the one really tough game against Ohio State. But this year, obviously, like I said, the game at Iowa, that's this Saturday at 3:30. But Iowa's not ranked, so we'll see. But then Indiana's at Oregon on October 11th. So that's a tough one. And then to finish the season, or not finish the season, but towards the end of the season, Indiana at Penn State.
Okay.
Yeah, in November. And so, I mean, again, they're not going to have every single opponent ranked like some schools do. I understand that world very well, but that's still, again, a more difficult schedule, and it'll prove their mettle if they're able to win some.
Shine some light on some of the things of, even if you're keeping those close, you start to give them a little more credit than they were given last year.
Well, you could see early Miami jumps Penn State. Miami's playing people. Penn State's not playing anybody.
Correct.
You know,
Until
that
this
doesn't mean
Saturday,
they're right. That doesn't mean they're better. They are clearly in being second overall. But that's why Miami jumped. They're beating some quality opponents and beating them pretty well. That's why they jumped up. But again, it's still early. Well, it's still great athletes and all that kind of stuff. Good defense, but that's that's going to work itself out. It should be fun. Now that we're getting into some real big time play, we'll see where they all kind of shake out.
Oh yeah, college football. Yeah. If you're not someone who's like obsessed with it and watches every week, you hit about week 6, and that's when we're really at week 5. So this year, week 5, and on out, every single weekend it will be okay. Somebody massive is going to tumble out of the rankings,
and you also do feel like you have you start to have the idea now of what teams actually are too, because those first couple weeks, I just feel like it's all over the place, and you're having closer, Georgia playing lesser opponents closer than you would expect them to do, and there's upsets and all of these things. I think usually week 5, 6, not saying upsets don't happen, but you really do start to shake out the teams that are top 25 and not top 25.
And look, you take like Florida State, who's off to a great start. We don't know how good Alabama was. The other two, can't really count. But now we find out how really good they could be. And look, I hope they keep it rolling. That'll be fun to see Florida State back in the top.
Yeah, I don't think Virginia's going to be a test, but certainly FSU Miami a week later.
Oh,
It'll be a fun one.
Get your popcorn for sure. Yeah. All right. Terminix test of the day on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Putting the fence in defense.
The ball comes out! The ball has come out!
Each week, Superior Fence and Rail presents the Defensive Player of the Game on 1010XL.
Welcome to the Bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Brandon Thomas in St. Augustine at 904-342-3459.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose DuckDuckRooter. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, we do it all. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com. DuckDuckRooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Helmets and Heels. Backed by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, so here's a reminder to get screened. Ackerman Urology has 4 convenient locations to help you put your prostate health first. Guys, don't put this one off. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops upon Avedra.
The JTA Game Day Express is the smartest way to get to the bank on time. It's all sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 convenient pickup locations across the River City, but remember, Game Day Express is cashless. All passes must be purchased through the MyJTA mobile app. Get your $10 pass today. For all of your game day needs, go to myjtafla.com.
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I like to only recommend the very best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Hello Windows and Doors for my own home. Now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for up to 72 months. That's 6 years of interest-free payments with Hella on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at HellaJacks.com or just visit their showroom on Phillips Highway, just north of Bay Meadows, for quality you can trust and savings you can't miss. That's Hella Windows and Doors.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Should have been different, but it wasn't different, was it? Same old story, dear John.
Now this one's tricky because it's technically a country song, but it's a
not,
cover.
Yeah. It's MGK version of a country song.
Oh, okay.
But this is a Taylor song. If I was to put it on the playlist, obviously it would be the
real
original
version, which I do
version,
love
which is
that
the Chicks. Yeah.
He went country too, or tried country?
He does everything. That's
Yeah.
why I honestly love him, because he's done rap, he's done like punk rock, he's
Yeah.
done country, he's done pretty much every genre.
It's like,
done all
what's
of
that
them.
guy's name? Stone Malone?
Post Malone.
Stoned Malone.
Stone
Malone, probably.
But Post Malone, yeah, but he's really talented too.
He
that
is.
guy.
He's very
Yeah,
talented.
yeah.
And he definitely
That's
dabbled
fun.
in country
yeah.
in
Yeah,
the most
right.
recent album.
Yeah.
He is fun. All right, time now for today's Terminix Pest of the Day. Is always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. They do such a great job at our house, as well as Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, and all of your favorite event venues around town. If we have any sort of issues, I just text them. They come right over and take care of the issue. All right, so today is a sad one. CTE is going to be today's pest of the day. It's probably been a pest at some point in time before this, but either way, when I saw the news that Rudy Johnson passed away, and from what I read, that he took his own life, and his family blames a lot of it on the CTE that he suffered. Obviously, a Bengals running back. He was just 45 years old, and we've seen so many different stories. CTE has become violent for some people, and then other people obviously have also succumbed to this in as far as not being able to deal with the mental illness that they struggle from because of obviously all the hits and things like that to the brain. So, Tom, since you played this game, I'll start with you as far as your thoughts.
First of all, very sad.
Yeah.
You know, it's a sad thing. I remember him. He was a great player. I remember at Auburn, he was a tough running back, man. It's just hard. You know, I think a lot goes into it, you know, with CTE. You know, obviously it's the medical condition. I think a lot of guys, they never recover from not playing. Okay. You know, it's listen, I joke about it because like I feel like I'm still searching. You know what I mean? And what does that mean? Like, there's just nothing like playing in the NFL. It's the greatest job in the world. I think for professional sports, maybe you're a professional singer or professional, you know, that kind of job. It's like, this is probably one of the greatest jobs that you could ever have. And then it's over. And then you got to figure out what are you going to do? I can remember sitting there going, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I had my degree. You know, I knew I was going to do something. I was going to figure something out, but you're still searching for that identity, you know, and then
it's such an adrenaline rush getting
it's that,
prepared,
and it's just everything. I mean, you get recognized, you know, you don't wait for a doctor appointment, you get whatever reservation, you know, it's just a different life. And I think a lot of guys, they have trouble moving on. I never, thank the good Lord, I'm still searching, but I don't sit there and dwell on, look, I got hurt. I wish I never got hurt. I was starting at the time. Actually, my knee injury, I started that whole game the year before. If I didn't get hurt in 97 and tore my ACL and didn't miss it all year, who knows? I don't know what kind of career I'd have had. But I'll tell you, my mother, God love her, because she would always tell me this. She would say, but Tommy, she goes, think about it. What if you played 10 years? Look how much discomfort you're in after 5. What would it be after 10? I was like, that's a pretty good point. I don't know. I don't know what it would be like.
Right. Like you talked to Loggeman, he's had 16 surgeries?
He's had a lot.
I think it's something along those lines.
It's just a lot.
Like the Baselli thing, when I always think about the injury, it's so incredibly sad to me that, yes, he was eventually enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but it was after his dad passed away. And the only reason that it was after is because he wasn't able to play a couple more seasons because of that knee injury. And yeah, he had to,
And the shoulders. Too.
Yeah, and the shoulder stuff too. But it's just that kind of stuff. I'm sure, like you said, the emotional part of it, in addition to the physical part.
Yeah, listen, people, do you wish you're still playing? The answer every time is yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You kidding me? I can't. I know I can't, but I would in a heartbeat. You kidding me? It's absolutely. And we were talking on the horse's mouth last week, like the glory. You can't explain the glory. Even a great practice is glorious. Like where you're walking off the field and you feel pretty darn good about your practice. There's some glory in that. You take it to a game, and then you do that again, and then it's even heightened. Then a playoff game, and then a championship game. I've never been to a Super Bowl. I can only imagine. It's like the ultimate. You know what I mean? So you can't. It's hard to replace that glorious feeling, I guess.
What about band performances that go well?
That's part of the reason I do the band. To be honest with you, it's just good for my. I joke about it, it's good for my mental health. It's a good outlet. I like doing it. I don't want to golf, I don't want to have these different hobbies, but I think that's part of it for me. The whole searching thing. I'm not trying to be a professional singer or anything like that, but it's just good for my whole being, I guess, if that even makes sense. But for Rudy, I don't know what was going on with him. I feel terrible. You hear the stories of guys in the years past taking their life because they're just whatever mental health issues, CTE included. It is real. Paul Fraze does a great podcast. I wish I had the title, but it's all about brain injuries and the brain. And
the Head Rush podcast.
The Head Rush. Thank you very much. You're so quick with that computer. I love it. But yeah, listen, it's real. It's real, and I hope people that have to deal with not just the guys that have it, but their family members, they can find some kind of peace in there somewhere. Because look, we all know whether it's an illness, sometimes addiction, you turn into a person you don't really want to be, that you're not, and you just try to remember him. Hopefully you can remember him during the good times and not the bad times. But even like I interview a lot of military people, they go through the same thing when they're out of the military. They're like, man, I miss the military. I just miss the structure. I miss the just every day I knew what I was going to do and what I had to do, and I had purpose and I had something. And we're not that, obviously, professional athletes, but you have
there's still structure.
There's some parallels to that on a smaller
and
level.
the brotherhood, the camaraderie.
Yeah. And I still think you also, it's obviously a different level than the military, but you see what it means to kids. Like you see the kids with your jersey on the sideline and you're their favorite person in the world because that's, they've been watching you play football on the team that they've been cheering for and all they know. And so I do think that it's devastating because, to your point, Tommy, you talk to these people, athletes who have been doing this pretty much their whole life, and their goal, most of these guys' goal is to get to the NFL, and you get there. And I was reading an article recently, the average career span is like 3.5 years, just like overall for the NFL. And then when it comes to the guys who consistently make the 53-man roster, it's still only 7 years as the average career span. So you work your whole life to get to this point, and usually, if you hit a decade, that's good. That's good that you got to spend 10 years into that career. So it is unfortunate because of multiple things. Some of that's injury. Some of it's just like, the young guys are coming in and your spot's getting taken.
It ends for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's for every athlete out there. It could be high school, could be college, could be pro. It's going to end.
It's interesting
ends
because
for
the
everybody.
golfers are the ones that really have the most extended careers.
We need a senior league in the NFL, except we'd all be on IR.
Like Jim
You'd only
Furyk.
have a game every other week.
How many you got today, Coach? 3. That's not going to work. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. We'll forfeit.
Yeah, but yeah, those senior golfers, obviously with the Champions Tour,
Yep.
Jim Furyk and friends will be there next month in just a couple weeks, really, at Timuquana, which is so much fun. But like that's really the sport that people can play the longest, which is just so odd because there is so much torque that goes into that, and you'd think
Your
that the
body
back,
and everything.
yeah, your body and the back would start to hurt. But yeah,
I will say this because anybody that ever comes up to me that wants to say hello and say whatever about my career, it always makes you feel good. You know what I mean? Because one day it's going to end, and it does. It'll, especially a guy like me who wasn't the superstar, like Baselli or somebody like that. I do feel bad for some of those guys like Kim, Tony Brackett's, Kevin Hardy. Like those guys were really, really stars. Like they were great, really great football players, and they could have probably each played 5 more years and even made a bigger impact on the league. So think about that. Like you got a guy like me who's just trying to make it, starting a little bit, being a backup, love being on the team, all that kind of stuff. It ends for me when I don't want it to. And then you got a guy that, like Tony, that played 7 years and would have played 15 and would have been the best left tackle of all time. He's got shoulder injuries that he can't get over, and the body just says, "Hey, man, it's over." And it's tough, but you move on. You got to move on. But hey, man, peace and love to the Rudy Johnson family. That's really sad. And anybody that's going through that, man, that's a tough thing, no question.
it is. And I also think that's why so many of the former players get into this business, right? Like whether it's calling games or whether it's talking about
or coaching, even.
or coaching, right? Because you want to
keeping you
stay
in it as much as
connected.
possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to leave it.
Yeah, this profession may be slightly easier than coaching, just slightly.
It's more fun.
All right, we've got one segment to go. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is Helmets and Heels. Fought for you by Greenlaw Group on 1010XL.
Duval. Yes, you heard that right. We love being in Duval County, and we love this city. So during football season, it's absolutely Lou-Ball around here. Hey, it's Don from Taco Lou, and yes, it is that time of year again. I know everyone's working hard all week getting ready for game day. Taco Lou is ready for you. If it's pregame, if it's postgame, during the game, no matter what your game is, enjoy it with us at Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. I now know why Closets by Design has over 1,700 five-star Google reviews, including mine. Our designer, Doug, had such great ideas for maximizing our small closets, and installer Alan was so efficient he installed all 3 of our closets in just a few hours. Goodbye clutter, hello seamless organization, and Closets by Design can do the same for you. They create custom storage for every space, style, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation, but only until September 30th. 18-month financing is available. Call 904-878-9393 or visit them online at closetsbydesign.com.
Expert Automotive on St. John's Bluff Road has some of the highest Google reviews in Jax for a reason. Expert Auto never sells greed, only what you need. All makes and models are serviced at Expert Automotive. This month, get an alignment inspection for only $19.99. Expert Auto does major engine and transmission repair and simple maintenance. All services done at Expert Auto by our ASC certified training technicians. Call today, 374-3373, and ask about $50 off any service. Expert Automotive. We never sell greed, only what you need.
I know you love sports, so why not take that passion and make a difference in your community as a volunteer coach with the YMCA? Whether it's soccer, basketball, volleyball, or flag football, the Y is always looking for positive role models to help kids grow in both skills and character. Even if you've got no coaching experience, that's fine. We'll provide the training. Step up, give back, and be the coach that makes a difference. To volunteer, visit your local Y or fcymca.org.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big... Whoa!
See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair.
Whoa.
Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
What is the smallest NFL stadium? The answer coming up.
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Soldier Field in Chicago is not only the smallest, but is also the oldest, built originally in 1924.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialist for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialist take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
One of the things we were chatting about a little bit earlier are some of the things that you would like to see the offense start improving on. And I still think that when you're talking about, I mentioned the third downs because your third down percentage isn't good enough. We talked about the drops. That definitely has to get better, whoever that's on. Tommy, you and I were just talking on break that some of the ones people are saying are drops, you feel like were more pass breakups. They got their hands on it.
A couple.
Yeah, and but also another one, when it comes to the red zone, that's something I still think you would like to see improve a little bit more. I just saw something. It was EPA per play in the red zone. And the Jags have the 5th lowest EPA per play in the red zone. And some of that, I think, is, as I mentioned earlier, when you're not leaning into the run, when maybe you should. That final touchdown that ended up winning the game on Sunday, you leaned into the run, and it showed. You had the one long pass to BTJ. I think it was 46 yards. That it was perfect. It set you up, put you in a good spot. But you didn't leave the run because you got that. You pushed it, and obviously the 10-yard run was a touchdown. The best in the league right now is Aaron Rodgers when it comes to those red zone. It's Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Hurts are at the top of the list of what you'd want to see. The Texans are second to last, so their offense, and we've talked about a lot today of the offensive struggles for the Jags. The Texans have a lot of things that they need to work on also, and I think the Jags at least feel like they're closer to fixing some of the errors. The Texans feel very far away right now at this point, and I think the main part of that is the offensive line. I mean, their offensive line looks
terrible.
Awful. Awful. It has to be the worst in the league right now.
Yeah, look, it's hard to function when you have a line like that, but that's their problem. And they're 0-3, and they're going to have a tough time getting out of that hole. I don't know. I know Hayes came out here yesterday, says they're done. Well, it feels like they probably will be. But, look, you gotta have the pieces. You gotta have the QB. We all know that, but you gotta have the pieces around, and you gotta have a defense that can bail you out from time to time. That's when you always hear those comments from coaches: complementary football, meaning my defense bails out my offense, my offense bails out my defense. And that was getting frustrating watching the game yesterday on replay because, like we talked about, it was a long period of 3 and out. Both teams, 3 and out, 3 and out, 5 and out, 5 and out, 3 and out. And you're like, man, your defense is giving you the ball back and you're not rewarding them. Neither team was, but I care more about our team, obviously. Yeah. And you're not rewarding them. And that's got to be better. Whatever that is, whether it's execution, better play call, better block, whatever it may be, you just got to make sure that, look, if my defense gives me the ball back, because we saw that, when was that? It was 2 years ago. They were great on third down on defense, but our offense sucked on third down. And every time we gave them the ball back, they gave it back. Yeah. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, or something like that. So hopefully they can get better at that. And you're right about the run game. The run game helps. the play action. It helps the screen game.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when you catch a defense in zone with a screen to the running back, it's hard to stop. Now, if you're in man, it's different because somebody's got that back. And backs typically, they do the same kind of thing when there's a screen. They pretend like they're blocking.
Right.
They might hop a little, and then they just kind of, hey, scoot out. Look at me. Nobody can see me. And then you're in man. You're like, I can see your ass. You're right there. But when you're in zone, you're dropping back. You're looking, and then you're like, oh, no. Here we go. We got to go defend, and here comes the line and the cavalry and all that. But it starts. You can't, put it to this way. You're going to start with a running back screen. I mean, you wouldn't be able to without a run game.
Right.
Because you'd just be sitting on it. You'd be like, all right, here comes that screen. Here comes that silly little motion that he likes to do. And then he's just going to screen this guy out, and we're going to go get him. You know what I mean? So
it all goes together.
It does. It does. And it's all on those tendencies, which, again, they're so important to study. Because then you can almost figure stuff out. Go back, like I said, when Bees was here with Jordan Lewis, the way he made that play, that's just studying, man. It was so, refreshing to be like, okay, so he's seen that because he's waiting for it, and then the minute Collins stops to turn around for the screen, he jumps to it and makes the play. So fantastic stuff.
Let's say hello to somebody who always makes the play.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hey, is any concern that the Jaguars have only 6 sacks and they've faced 2 of the worst offensive lines in the Bengals and the Texans at this point?
No, because they're getting pressure, so I think the numbers will be there.
Okay.
And the interior's been better than what I thought. So yeah, and I do think you can, while the sacks haven't been there, I do think it's led to takeaways, and they're leading the league in that. So fantastic stuff. But I'll tell you what I'm excited about. Am I going to get a chance to see you at a gala Saturday night? Is that the rumor on the street?
Absolutely.
I can't wait. My wife and I are going, and our good friends Kim and Paul McDaniel are part of the
Waste Not Whatnot. Yeah. 35th year anniversary for the organization, the charity organization. And what they do is they get all the food from restaurants and grocery stores. They get it all that you're not going to use, and they put it at the food banks. And I've been doing it for 35 years. It's going to be fun. I'm bringing Bees. I'm bringing Double D. My wife's coming. Carper Man, his wife's coming. Then the band's playing. My band's playing after the fact. So it should be a great night on Saturday night.
I can't wait.
I'm shocked. I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm happy that you're coming.
Yeah,
I told my wife,
can't wait.
I'm like, all right, he's
and
going.
I guess there's room. If people want to go, they can still get tickets for
Absolutely. You'd have to Google Waste Not Whatnot, and they'll have their gala information right there. But it's a great organization. Kathleen Spears, Dr. Spears, who's been a guest on my Horse's Mouth show. She's headlining the whole thing, putting it together, and help putting it together. So
I'm
it should be
fired
a great
up.
event. Yeah,
We're going to have a great time.
It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right.
WasteNotFlorida.org. WasteNotFlorida.org.
Yes, thank you. And it should be a fun Frangie show coming up. We'll have a scholar athlete, and Jeff Danzler is going to join Frank to talk SEC football. So lots to get to. We'll certainly get into the Jaguars and I suppose the Gators as well.
Yeah, just talk Knowles and Canes and dogs. All right, thanks, Hayes.
See ya.
Yeah. So wastenotflorida.com or sorry, .org.
Yep,
Yeah,
beautiful.
you can get your tickets there. All right, that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, for Tom McManus, for RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show comes up next.
Boots, dog.